Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello. Welcome to a festive episode of Bliss Tell I. I got my Christmas decoration on and it goes with my sweater. This was not planned. I'm not the kind of person who would plan for this, but so I'm already wearing the Christmas decoration because it's almost Christmas, and I don't think there will be a Bliss Tell next week because I usually record these on Friday, and Friday is Christmas. So, you got this instead. My wife made me do this, by the way. If it looks ridiculous, it's her fault. If it makes you laugh at me, it's also her fault. Anyway, so welcome to episode 11 of Bliss Tell. It's actually only Thursday, but yeah. I really felt like recording it this morning on Thursday, so I said, I'm just going to do that instead of writing. This is my procrastination, basically, today. So anyway, it doesn't matter. On to the show. Lots of things to talk about this week, Back at work full speed, no more holidays, although the holidays are coming up. So what happened this week? Yesterday I sent Release the Stars to the distributor. Yay! I was so happy to do that. A bit stressed as well, of course. I sent it to my launch team last week, and some people have read it already and they liked it, so that's great news. So it should be on Amazon. I'm thinking probably over the weekend, but definitely on Monday, which is the release date. So very excited about that. Also this week I revealed the cover for Seasons of Love, my next novel, which will be out at the end of January. And my wife made this cover, and it's absolutely gorgeous. I think it might be the most beautiful cover I've had for one of my books. I'm so happy with it. Pretty happy with the book as well. Been working on edits. And we have a question about edits later in the questions section, so I'll be talking about that. Didn't require that much work. I'm not done with it yet, but I have some time because the book is only coming out at the end of Jan. And of course, we also published Christmas Kisses, our Christmas anthology, mini anthology. This is out now, available on Amazon and anywhere else. So if you want to, if it's cold in where you are, it's cold in Hong Kong, by the way. The temperature has gone down like this. I know I probably said this last week, but this is worse. This morning when we woke up, it was 11 degrees. That's cold for Hong Kong. I mean, maybe like for most people, 11 degrees in winter is not that cold, but when you're used to 40 degrees in summer, 11 degrees is cold. Plus, this is a pretty important point. We don't have central heating in our flat, so I have like a little mobile heater in my office, and I don't want to leave my office at all. I don't want to go out. I'm cold. So a good remedy for cold is Christmas Kisses. It's a great little anthology, and makes for some lovely festive and seasonal reading. But the biggest thing that happened to me this week, I wouldn't catalog it as a crazy idea. It's more, I don't know, something else. not that crazy. So I've decided to not write the spy novel just now. I decided this yesterday. Because there are a few reasons, but I wrote this on Facebook earlier today. I guess the main reason is fear of failure. Because I don't know. I guess I feel like I'm not ready to start writing this. I mean, it's just so far out of my regular genre, and I just didn't really feel like starting it on Monday. And I mean, we have a plot, We have a plot. We have a great character. I say we because my wife actually came up with the plot. it was awesome. I just says I asked her, can you give me a plot for a spy novel? And I was like a joke. We were gonna come up with it together, and then she just told me the plot, and it was awesome. So I really want to write this book, but I don't know. I can't reach the level of excitement that I need to really get started on it, and I think I need to maybe definitely read a few more good spy novels, read a bit more about the conventions of the genre, and well, we have a plot, but we need it to be much more detailed than it is, because it's so different from writing romance. Writing romance, I'm so used to writing romance by now. I'm not saying it's like, a walk in the park, it's easy, but it's what I do, it's familiar. And I guess being scared to write in another genre is natural, is normal. But yeah, maybe I'm letting my fear win. I don't know, am I? So I'm definitely going to write this book, definitely, and in 2016 for sure. It's going to happen, but I'm going to write definitely one romance novel, maybe two, before I start on it. So this might be good news for some, and maybe not so good news for others. But I mean, most of you I'm guessing all of you who watch this read my romance, so it's actually good news for you. There were some other factors, but anyway, this is what I've decided to do. Like yesterday, like really on a whim, I said to my wife, I said, oh, what did I say? Something like, I'm feeling very nervous. And I have been feeling very nervous, like a bit out of sorts, like. And I couldn't really pinpoint where the nerves were actually coming from. And then we started talking about, I gave her some reasons why I wasn't ready, which was mainly just fear, but I can come up with some excuses for my fear. And then she said, well, if you're not ready, then don't do it yet, wait. And I have a huge note with all sorts of ideas for romance novels, that I can just pick from. There was one in particular that I've been thinking about for a while. It's going to be set in Texas. I'll explain why it'll be in Texas later. And I have a title already, which is awesome because I love having a title, and the title is Far From the World We Know. This may sound familiar. It's a lyric from a song, which is often the case. I was just contemplating singing this song, but I won't do that. But it's from Up Where We Belong. I think it makes for an awesome lesbian romance title. So anyway, I'm gonna start writing that book next week. This is only my April release, because in January we have Seasons of Love, in February we have French Kissing Season 3, yay! And then in April we have From Top to Bottom, the anthology, which is gonna be hella hot. And then in April we'll have Far From the World We Know. And then in May, I don't know, maybe we'll have a spy thriller, or maybe we'll have a lesbian romance. We'll see. Why don't you tell me what you would prefer? So, what's coming next? Well, next week is Christmas, so that's what's coming up. Lots of our friends are actually leaving town for the holidays, going to see their family. We are not, because our family came to see us. So we're staying here, and on Christmas Day we plan to rewatch When Harry Met Sally, which is my wife's favorite movie, and I really enjoy it as well. And we're going to watch Casablanca, because it is also one of my wife's favorite movies, and I've never seen it. I've never seen Casablanca, so she's going to school me in that. And then we have some Christmas partying, of course, as well. But that's for Christmas. So before it's Christmas, I will start writing Far From the World We Know. And well, Monday is the official release day for Release the Stars. So I'll be doing some work for that. I'm very, very, very excited. My screen went black. So that's up for next week. It's going to be a bit of a short week with the holidays, but yeah, so I should actually already wish you all a Merry Christmas because I won't be here next week, and probably not the week after either because then it's New Year's Day. Guess what we are doing on New Year's evening? You will never guess. I would never guess. We're doing yoga. We're doing a 2 hour yoga session. Well, it's not just yoga. I think there's some meditation as well. And the session is when 2015 crosses into 2016. So I'll be doing yoga when it becomes the new year, which will be a very novel experience. Usually by midnight I'm already, beyond tipsy. But as I said last week, I won't be drinking. So I'm not drinking alcohol for 7 weeks. So my first week is almost up. It wasn't that much of an issue because on Saturday we had a party here, and I drank so much that on Sunday I woke up with a vile hangover, and I had to go to another party. And I said, "Fuck it, I'm not drinking. I'm stop. No more alcohol as of now." And that was Sunday morning, and it was fine. I had more issues because this week I gave up caffeine. And because it's been so cold, and a coffee or cappuccino can be like such a comforting warm drink. So I've been drinking a lot of green tea instead. Green tea and a green Christmas tree and a green sweater. That doesn't make any sense. So giving up caffeine was a bit harder. So next up will be, because this weekend actually I have, a lot of our friends are going away, so there are a few like pre-holiday parties. So I do have a party on Friday and Saturday. There's always parties going on in Hong Kong. This is why I need to do the detox. Too much partying. So I won't be drinking, but I will only give up like the gluten and the dairy and the sugar next Monday. So I don't know what's going to happen on Christmas though. So we do have a Christmas Eve party to go to. That's going to be hard. Anyway, we'll see. This is my choice, right? So that's going to be alright. So anyway, on to the questions. So again, questions from Wendy and Nikki. Thank you for always asking me questions. And Wendy has a question about edits. I'm going to read it off my notes here. So she says, when you talk about getting edits back on your book, does the editor suggest the texts with what they want written, or do they leave that up to you to remerge it in your own words? So I understand your question. So totally, it's a good question. So when I get edits back, I get, there are suggested edits. Every edit that an editor does is a suggested edit. So the author always has final say because it's my book. I'm not sending my book to an editor to have it rewritten by someone else. Obviously, I send it to an editor to have it. To have the mistakes corrected and to have someone else's view on it. And this was definitely the case in Release the Stars. Jove, my editor for Release the Stars, Jove Bell, she had a lot of work to do. She really had to pull that into shape. It was maybe not in the best shape when I sent it to her. I mean, let's put it like this. I wrote this book really fast, and I think it showed a little bit. So there were some issues with that, and I had to do quite a few rewrites that she suggested, but she didn't put the words in my mouth, so to speak. So I made some notes. I'm just reading them. Actually, I've just been working on Seasons of Love this week, and there was actually one sentence or a paragraph that my editor for Seasons of Love is Cheyenne Blue, and she rewrote it, and then she marked it, the track changes in the Word document. I hate Word. When will there be a solution for edits no longer in Word? anyway, that's not what I was talking about. So Cheyenne, she rewrote a paragraph and then she put in the track changes. Oh, I kind of rewrote that here. Let me know if you agree. And then I said, oh, you if it's you, you can rewrite all my sentences if you like, because she's such a good author. So she's a good writer. But the editor suggests. An editor will make suggestions, and then the writer in the end decides to go with them or not. But I find that it's usually a good idea to go with what the editor suggests, because as a writer you're too close to what you've written, and you need an outside view, and that's also what editors do. Cannot live without the editors. So also, I'm not very precious about what I write. I'm not gonna be upset if an editor does suggest a whole lot of changes or like rephrases something for me. I'm not gonna battle someone over a comma or something like that. I just want my book to be a good reading experience, and an editor is only going to make suggestions that make the reading experience better. So it's all good, So I hope that answers your question, Wendy. I know sometimes my replies are a bit wordy and maybe not always logical, but I do my best. I'm a writer, I'm not used to speaking like this. So, on to the next question, and this one is from Nikki, and her question is, what do you consider to be your extreme nerd interest? And Nikki's extreme nerd interest is Star Wars. So, shocker, I have never seen a Star Wars movie, never. I know what Star Wars is, and it's so ingrained in popular culture that I've heard what's it, Han Solo and Darth Vader and all of that. I know a little bit about it, but I've never seen any Star Wars movie. And of course I know that the new one is out, I think maybe tomorrow. And I'm not gonna go see it because I don't know anything about it. And I can't say I'm extremely interested either. And but Nikki, enjoy Star Wars. I'm sure it's great and everything. I hear so many people raving about Star Wars, but I've just never really been into any of that. And when the first one came out, when was that? A long time ago, right? My parents were never interested in that either, so I guess I never really got exposed to it when I was young. Never. So yeah, I think that's probably the main reason why I don't know, Star Wars doesn't really mean that much to me. I am curious though, I will tell you that. I am actually a little bit curious. And actually that could be maybe that could be a good New Year's Day activity. You can try watching Star Wars. But it's gonna be so hopelessly dated now, right? I don't know. So anyway, that's not an answer to your question. This is just a shocking revelation on my part. I've never seen Star Wars or Star Trek or any of that. I watched Battlestar Galactica though, and I loved it. Oh God, I would watch that again. So, what is my extreme nerd interest? I thought about this, couldn't really find anything, and thus concluding that I'm cool. I'm too cool to be a nerd. I'm just kidding. I used to be a bit of a music nerd. Before we came to Hong Kong, I was a DJ and I was always looking for the latest, hippest band, but I guess that would actually would have made me more of a hipster than a nerd. Just kidding. I don't know. I don't really have these extreme... I like watching television, but we already knew that. I don't know. It's a good question, but I don't have an answer. I've thought about it, but maybe I should ask my wife. I haven't actually asked her. See what she thinks about that. But for now, my answer to your question, Nikki, is none. But I may get back to you on that. Does this make me nerdy? It's not very extreme, is it? So, anyway, let's move on. Thank you for your questions, Nikki, and Wendy. Ah, my screen went blank again. Okay, I think this is going to be a bit of a long episode, but you know, it can be a double because I'm not going to be here next week. So, what else do we have? So, oh yeah, last weekend I went to see Freeheld. And there's a release date for Carol in Hong Kong. It's only on the 11th of February, so a bit more patience, but I'm so looking forward to that. I'll be there on release day. I'll be in the cinema. I'll take the day off if I have to. Just go see it. Anyway, back to Freeheld. It was so sad. I cried a lot. My wife did not cry. She is cold inside. I cried a lot. It made me very angry, and it made me realize that, you know, here in Hong Kong, even though our marriage is not even recognized, but we live in such a gay bubble, you know. Like all our, not all, but like 80% of our friends are gay, or like allies, or whatever, you know. It just also made me realize I'm very lucky to live in this time and not like, you know, 50 years ago. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the movie. It was so it was just so wonderful to see like two big actresses like Julianne Moore and Ellen Page to watch them fall in love on the big screen. It was awesome. This is why I'm looking forward to Carol so much as well. So yeah, I can definitely recommend the movie, although it's not really, it's not a Christmas movie. It was sad. So, but you know what's gonna happen, right? It's based on a true story, so what else? So I already told, yeah, well, there'll be a Christmas party, and I'll be detoxing, and blah blah blah. I'm doing the yoga. Oh, I had something else to say. Oh, yes. Well, yeah, so the big thing I want to talk about this week is we watched season 2 of Transparent this week, and it was amazing. It was such a great show, and watch it. I mean, it is the best show I've seen on TV ever, because it's so groundbreaking, and it's brave, and it's thought-provoking. It's just very special, and so different from anything else that you see on television. It's real, you know. It gives you like the feeling that it's just, there's no like, you know, not everyone in the show is like very pretty, and it's just, it's an amazing television show, and I think maybe one of the reasons why I'm very affected by it. It really moves me, you know. And a long time ago, before I met my wife, I actually dated a trans woman, and you know, it's hard being trans. I mean, coming out as trans is like a million times harder than coming out as gay. Coming out as gay is nothing compared to coming out as trans, I think. It just takes so much, you know, to live your life with a little bit of dignity when you are trans, and I have, you know, nothing but respect for trans people, because it's hard. So yeah, watch Transparent. You know, the acting is also, it's so, everybody is so good in it, you know, and especially Gabby Hoffman. She is, I didn't like really like her in the first season. Her character is not the most likable, but I think in the second season she shines. And there were like, in season 2 there were like these flashbacks to Germany in the 30s, and I think, what was that? And then they made it come together so beautifully in the end. It was just, I am raving about this show. I am really raving. It was really beautiful, and everything just came together. And I have a tiny crush on Sherry Jones now, because she plays one hell of a cougar in Transparent. It was so good. It shows you a different side, you know. It shows you like a different side of how life can be, and how everybody thinks It is, but it's not. There is just so many different sides and people in this world, and it's an absolutely beautiful show. So maybe on Christmas Day, ditch your family, watch Transparent. It has family, it has dysfunctional families as well. So it's a great show. So I think that was my plug for the week. So let me see if there is anything else that I was going to say. I don't think so. I don't know. I remember that I wrote something about cougars, and now I can't find it anymore in my thing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So that's the show for this week. Send me questions. I won't be here next week, and probably not, so like maybe a 2-week hiatus for the holidays. I hope you have amazing holidays, and then I guess I will see you again in the new year. What? No, I don't know. Maybe I'll do something in between. Who else am I going to talk to if not to myself? So we will see. Send me questions. Have great holidays. Don't drink too much. My wife would say, don't be holier than thou now. Yeah, peace out. Have a good one. Bye bye.